This is the Lental region. The Lental region is an archipelago with many islands. Only one of them seems to be inhabited. But today we will be looking at what would happen if humans started to populate the entirety of the surface of Lental. Let's get into it. Humans are mostly restricted to this area, the research camp and the Florio Natural Park, with the only humans residing in the research camp. Now, it is very clear of the slight influence of people in one of the areas, which is Florio Natural Park, where you can literally see the signs and how the humans and the Pokemon both seem unfazed of each other. They don't seem to be scared of the existence of humans around here, and they are just acting like they normally would. You can even see this bridge built here across the small river. But not all of the areas are like this. As we can see, areas that don't seem to be touched by human civilization seem to be doing better on a whole. As you can see, these are way more highly densely populated, but the Pokemon don't seem to be paying you much attention. Whereas in the Florio Natural Park, they definitely are. While Pokemon here do as they would in the wild. But if humans started to settle here, we would see a much different story be taking place. For example, this dense rainforest seems to be essential for the survival of many of these Pokemon, especially the semi-aquatic and aquatic ones. Without this river, you would have things like Ursaring unable to find food, so would Feraligatr, and there could even be river pollution, making these unviable places for these Pokemon to live. As you can see, these useless Pokemon over here are enjoying themselves, but they won't be enjoying themselves that much when you get to see the humans enter this area. Another thing is, I can see this area as being a victim of mass deforestation in the future, which would therefore cut down the population of toucanon living in this area. Now, something that seemed to be a beacon of hope for humans residing in this region now seems to be like a warning. Let me explain. As you wander around Orus Island, you are stared down by many Pokemon, and this is one area of the map that is very clearly a victim to humans living here with old ruins, as you can see. And you are not welcome here as you come. So, if humans are coming here, they must have had a negative impact already. You can see the Salandit flee as soon as I enter, and this Noivern comes and shouts at them, and gives me a glare and leaves. This is already bad. And then we enter this area here, which is probably the most impacted by humans living here of all these places. And you'll see things like a Sigilif, and you'll see Chandelure. Now these Pokemon don't seem to be welcoming. As you can see, it's firing off this. And it seems to be directed at you because there's not really anything else here for it to be doing that. There you go. And that may mean that humans have already created quite a mess around here. But they must have also done something good, right? These beams of light in these small man-made canals, they must mean something. Humans must have once been to the benefit of this island, but over time they must have started to hurt the island, which is why Xerneas became a tree, and it becomes a tree again. This island seems to be at big risk in my opinion, or this chain of islands, mostly mountainous, volcanic, and has all types of biomes, but it seems to have a very delicate ecosystem. For example, if any humans wandered into this area, I feel like only places like Elsewhere Forest would remain untouched, because it seems a bit too dangerous to reach such a wild area as this one. And I doubt that humans would venture into such dangerous and mysterious places as this. But talking about human threat would be quite an empty threat if I didn't talk about how humans would get here in the first place. I mean, we don't know where in the Pokemon world the Lental region even is. Well, I would like to dispute that, because we will look at the island's Pokemon species. Now, the Pokemon species that live here and inhabit this place seem to be quite random, so it's hard to come to a conclusion. We have Pokemon from places like Kanto, Johto, Unova, and I'm pretty sure we will even have a few Alolan and Galarian Pokemon here, which leads me to believe this is somewhere between the island or islands that comprised the Kanto, Johto, and Sinnoh regions. It would be in the middle of a vast ocean nearby the islands of Alola, but also quite close to Unova, which would be on the other side of the world, and Galar being over there. Because it's possible that in the Pokemon Tale of Events, these Pokemon may have migrated, so I'm thinking this may be close to the coast of what we call the Unova region on the Pacific type coast. I know there's no Pacific, but it would be around there, close to Hawaii, because otherwise, how would it have such a diverse ecosystem with Palearctic and other groups of biogeographic realm wandering Pokemon? You would need it to be in a place where it would combine all of these different things to make its own type of biogeography. So therefore, I think it's entirely possible that places like the Kanto, Johto, Sinnoh region, people from these regions especially, and Unova could be just flying around to observe this island later on in years. So therefore, these are the reasons why, in theory, I believe that if this diverse and delicate ecosystem was interfered with by humans, then this region would not fare well as this incredible landscape of wild Pokemon that it serves to be today. And we would witness the migration, or maybe even the diminishing populations of many Pokemon region-wide. So therefore, I believe that the small island of Florio should remain the furthest reach of human influence, because the most delicate ecosystems seem to be on Basalvia, Volcala, Maracopia, and Durice. And Durice honestly seems a bit like a scam, because this seems to be like a giant ice sheet and it looks like the Antarctic Peninsula. So I think it's just mountains and ice sheets here. So maybe in theory, Basalvia might be a tiny bit bigger, who knows? So anyway, with this I'd like to conclude. Thank you for considering this theory, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.